Warning, the following is a long list of warnings. If warnings offend you, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains adult themes. If you are not an adult, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains a lot of offensive language and may contain graphic content. If you're a Karen, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may contain shabby impersonations of celebrities. If you are a celebrity, represent one, or think this is unfair, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains what could be seen as controversial and subversive ideas and opinions. If you can't handle differing opinions, do not watch this show. Warning, this show actively shows the consumption of tobacco, cannabis and alcohol. If this offends you, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may discuss topics including, but not limited to, those in the realm of politics and conspiracy theories in a politically incorrect format. If these topics offend you or make you uneasy, please do not watch this show. Warning, the producers of this show will do almost anything for a laugh. If comedy or extreme comedic premises offend you, please do not watch this show. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the producers, affiliates, ISPs, streaming platforms, advertisers, partners or alike.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location inside the beautiful land of the Blackfoot Confederacy and Treaty 7 territory, Big Nate Productions presents Getting Laid with Nate.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Dun 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 dun. From New Level Brewing. That's hilariously impossible to see, especially with the chat and all this hilarious stuff here. Thanks to them. Thanks to New Level. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. We have Chase here, but we don't have a video feed of him today. How's it going, Chase?
I'm pretty good. I forgot the mic or the camera though.
It's all good, man. We had fun, eh? Last weekend we were doing some shooting down at the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking awesome as usual.
Yeah, totally. It's killer. 10, 11 angles of video, 32 tracks of live audio recording. If anybody wants to do a music video or anything, fucking hit Chase and I up. We'll fucking bust that shit out. And we're going to watch, this is the second session we did down there, slaughterhouse session. And we're going to watch the first one later on coming up here. I just wanted to show everybody here. I feel like the people that watch this, I mean, most of them have probably been here and stuff, but I just wanted to show everybody the slaughterhouse. So you walk in, there's a big room, and then this is a rehearsal room there. Should be a bit of a slideshow going here. No.
No, I think you gotta click it.
Oh, there it goes. It just waits long enough for you to. This is cool. This used to be the control room there. It's got like foot thick walls. It used to be called the cooler. Now they call it the big vault or the vault. And it's not a massive room, but it's cool for like a 3-piece or a 4-piece. You saw the vault door there. It's kind of slaughterhouse used to actually be a horse slaughterhouse. And then across the hall is the beer gardens here. I'm on Slaughterhouse Studios, Calgary. Here.
I think I recorded in the beer gardens.
Yeah, the control room used to connect to this, and then this has a vocal booth in it as well for recording. You see the ceiling there with all the, that was the first experimentations with egg crates we did there. I used to work at this place, by the way, everybody. helped build this room and the vocal booth there. And yeah, this is, you're getting into a medium-sized room here. They sound really good, though. I mean, they sound better than any venue you're going to play at, that's for sure. So then across the hall, down next door to that is the West Wing. Pardon me. Yeah, this is kind of the beer gardens' brother. Oh, hit play, Nate. Yeah. Yeah, see, we got a lot more elaborate in the ceiling there with the fucking egg cartons. Started becoming a vendetta art piece. But yeah, and Bob's the owner, he's a cabinet maker, and all these walls are super thick and the doors are super thick, and got PAs in every room. Each room comes with a PA and any other auxiliary stuff you might need, but usually the idea is that you bring your own stuff and set up your own stuff and jam, but they do have stuff to rent there too. This is the kill floor. This is one of the bigger rooms. Actually, I meant to go, hold on, sorry. I'm going to go to the big cooler first. And I believe this room has evolved more in the last. Oh, this is that. Have you ever seen one of these kits, Chase? The staccato.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have one of those down there. Man, it'd be fun to record on one of those staccato kits. They sound fucking big, man. Yeah, see, they have the whole ceiling done now there, and in an elaborate pattern. Yeah, this room has evolved a little more than this, but this is a bigger room. Like I've seen, I don't know, 8, 9. Piece bands in here, no problem.
Oh, is that the newer one?
It's the big cooler. It's when you go down the big hallway. We were in the kill floor to the left, and this is to the right.
Yeah, I know.
And they have storage at all these places, at this place too, folks. And then this is, we probably won't see exactly where we filmed, but because we filmed kind of behind this room, but we filmed behind here, behind this curtain, but oh, hit play. Yeah, this is a sweet room. My old band Kill You Kai filmed a video in here. I know Stab Twist Pull has filmed videos in here. This is a pretty large room. Yeah, go check out their website, slaughterhousestudioscalgary.com. And they've got all the dimensions up there. It's a pretty slick website and all the rates and stuff. So when you come here, the rate you pay could be for any room. It just depends on availability. So try them all out, and you can hire me to record your band down here too. That's what I like doing. But yeah, so check out Slaughterhouse Studios. So we're gonna play. we're gonna play a. Oh, let's get rid of that chat if it's going to do that every
back.
time.
It just does it when you bring it.
I know, that's weird, eh? Trying new stuff here, folks. I'm going to play the interview I did with Turner from Woodhawk. We talked a bit about the shoot that we did. Somebody asked, can you use the amps? They have amps down there. You got to rent them, or bring your own. You can crank your practice amp down there. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to show the Jimmy. Let's do that real quick. This room is for like the one drummer guy. It's, what does it say? It's only 20 by 12. This is their smallest room. And then yeah, that's to kind of show. I've seen guys, like drummer guys, that just want to rip, and they set their kit up in there and just crank the PA and go as hard as possible. Yeah, this room's all dedicated to Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, good ass time. Go down to Slaughterhouse Studios. So we're gonna play a place boing. Oh yeah, okay, we're gonna play a place boing. So this one is it's the longest one tonight. It's 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes of your life you're never gonna get back. It's called Running for President, and it was put out November 7th, 2016. So just keep that in mind. It was about this time of year 4 years ago during the election. And hey, what the fuck? I like to laugh at politicians. I think they're total pieces of shit. So yeah, check this out. Place boring.
It is time for this incredible woman to step into the role that she is meant to have. And
we, all of us, are going to help her get there.
Okay.
Here she is!
Hey guys! I've been talking so...
She didn't deny she said this awful thing. Instead, she blamed Honest Abe Incan. Honest Abe. So Hillary Clinton, for lying, blamed Abe Lincoln, commonly known as Honest Abe Incan. Honest Abe.
I love Mexican people.
I wouldn't go to France. I wouldn't go to France. Because France is no longer France. France is no longer France.
Do you want to go back to them, or do you want to stay with Donald Trump?
Trump.
Hold up. Hey, hold up. Hold up. Listen up. Hey, hold up. Everybody sit down and be quiet for a second.
This is the moment we choose hope. 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 Choose hope.
That's a good ass time. Fuck. Too funny, man. Yeah, we're going to watch a bunch more of those, but they all came out on the same day, and the next ones are only like 14, 17. They all came out November 7th. I don't know. These next three coming up throughout the show seem like they're kind of like he's like testing stuff or something. Yeah, so now we're going to play the interview again. Chase and I went down to the slaughterhouse, filmed Woodhawk, and we filmed in Vertigo that day too. We're going to play them next week. These guys one-taked this shit. Both the live performances you're about to see, one take, done. So thanks for that. Helps us. Pardon me. And so, yeah, check it out. I sat down with Turner. Thanks. Hi, everybody. I'm here today with Turner from Woodhawk. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, Nate. How are you doing? Good to see you.
I'm real good. We got to do some fun. I want to thank you and the band for joining me in my experiment a couple weeks ago. You guys came down to the slaughterhouse, and we pre-taped a couple. You'll be the first live Getting Late with Nate musical guest.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was thanks so much for having us, and thanks everyone with Slaughterhouse and all that for all their help and putting us up and all of that for that. That was a lot of fun. I mean, for a band that's been in like isolation, locked away for the last few months, it was fun to play for the two people that were in the room. It was good, and all the cameras. It was enjoyable.
Yeah. Chase, who's a friend of the show, he works on the show here with me. He brought 10 angles of camera. I brought the board and a bunch of mics, and we were able to multi-track it really cool like too. So that was a lot of fun. The reason I wanted to have, and we'll be watching that in a sec here, but the reason this worked out really great too is you guys are actually playing a real gig. Is that true?
Yeah, like I think the day after we filmed with you, we got a show offer. I mean, now that some restrictions have kind of moved for singing being loud in bars and stuff again. We're playing at the Palomino on October 10th, Saturday, which is pretty crazy, and it's sold out like that. So it's it's pretty good to kind of get a gig, which no one has heard of in a long time.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Oh, it is sold out, eh? Oh, that's too bad.
It's sold out in like a day.
Yeah. And I bet everybody's down. Like, I know Chris from Dickens was saying he's at like 20% or something.
Yeah.
Of capacity.
Exactly.
So that's crazy. I mean, maybe this will make it where people will start going to shows again. Once everything opens up, they'll realize how big of a deal this is.
Yeah, totally. I mean, with the demand for how quickly the Palomino one went, we booked another gig actually with Dickens at the end of November. So we'll be announcing that. So anyone who couldn't make it to the Palomino will be at Dickens at the end of November.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. They've got did you see what they installed there?
Yeah, the barricade. Apparently everyone has those.
Yeah, I saw Broken City put one out today too. Or maybe it was yesterday. The plexiglass front.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a fly screen, or like a spit screen at a salad bar.
Yeah. All you can eat music. I love it.
Just a sneeze guard from all the musicians.
Yeah. That's hilarious. All right, very cool. Let's watch this video really quick, and then get into a bunch of wacky about how 2020 fucked your year. But really quickly, this is off the album Violent Nature, right? That just came out in 2019, correct?
Yep, you bet. Yeah, we put out a record November 2019 of last year, Violent Nature.
Fuck, November. God damn. Fuck. And this is the title track from that, right? I believe.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Right on. We'll be right back.
releasing demons that have held down my life. And when this view is into the unknown, I leave myself nowhere to go. Covered in cracks, a look at bad luck, a looking back. My blurry vision's tossed to disappear, but now what I see all becomes clear. I've desecrated all the things that I've touched. Fear of myself, I fear to be loved. No thoughts and images are not looking well. I wanna send them all back to hell. These vacant bodies all fade away. You stand to bring them in a brand new state. No thoughts and images are not looking well. I wanna send them all back to hell. Back to hell.
Hell yeah, that was Violent Nature by Woodhawk. That was fun, eh? Oh, man. Thanks a lot for doing it again.
Yeah, man. Thanks again for having us. That was great. It was nice to stretch the old muscles again.
Yeah. Kevin is the most fun drummer in the world to watch.
Yeah, he really is. I always said the most disappointing thing about him joining our band was that I couldn't watch him anymore.
Yeah, no doubt. So there's Kevin, and then I know Mike lives in Edmonton, right? The bass player?
Yeah, Mike moved to Edmonton a couple of years ago with his wife. And yeah, so Mike's based out of there, so it's kind of different having us all separated. And then we added a keyboard player, Marie, in October of last year. So she's been in the band for about a year. So we finally expanded from being a trio to being four of us now.
Interesting. I wanted to ask you really quick. I might cut this out, but is that why you didn't bring double rigs at Slaughterhouse, or did you just not have enough room?
No, we just didn't have enough room.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Because when Mike lives in Edmonton, so the bus is up there. We had to cram all of it into 3 cars, and Kevin didn't have his car with him. He doesn't drive anymore. And so we had to cram everything into 3 little hatchbacks, and we thought we'd be more confident about it. And it was like, we kind of just started loading it, and we had to load Kevin's drums and everything. And we couldn't bring as much as we wanted, but I definitely missed my double rig for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, Marie's a good touch to the organ going, and that's cool.
Yeah, thanks. We're really happy with her. She was just supposed to originally do the Violent Nature album release because it had so much keys on the record, and we kind of just were jamming a couple new tunes, which we're working on for the 3rd record, and we just kind of immediately saw her potential and went, oh, like shit, you should stay on like all the time. And we kind of didn't ask her. We kind of just told her like, you're in the band now. So it wasn't really a choice.
Nice. I detected an accent, and I asked her. She said she's from Montreal, right?
Yeah, she's from Quebec. She's from like just outside of Montreal. You bet.
Oh, okay. Has she been out here long?
5 years.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, right. Awesome. So, where did you guys? You recorded this in Vancouver, right?
Yeah, we went back to Rain City Recorders in Vancouver. We worked with Jesse Gander again, the same guy who did our first record. We've always just had such a great experience with him, and he had an assistant engineer, Emile Vanderbiel, working with him, who's in from Belgium, who's just like kind of his little protege for the couple weeks, and it was awesome. So yeah.
Oh yeah, it's always good to have like really go-getter type helper guys like that want to learn and stuff. They help so much in a studio environment like that.
Yeah, and he was really good because he was a lot like Jesse. He wasn't like afraid to like speak his ideas if he had like harmony ideas or like telling us how to play, and we were kind of like we were very open to it. Like, but him and Jesse just worked so well together, and they ended up doing a bunch more records after us that all are doing really well right now too.
Yeah, very cool. How long were you out there to do that?
2 weeks. So yeah, we did like 6 days, took a day off, and then we did like another like 4 or 5 days, and then just finished it up. And then we went home, and then he mixed it when we weren't there.
Oh yeah, interesting. That place must be awesome. So, like, I've seen a few pictures of it. It looks like it's just cream town for gear dorks.
It definitely is. Well, it's the old Greenhouse studio. So I mean, like Trooper recorded there back in the day. Bryan Adams. There's a lot of like history in those walls, and so it's pretty cool. And
Didn't Slayer record there? I thought Slayer did.
Yeah,
Slayer did Diabolus there, right?
Yeah, and I remember when we were there the last time, Nickelback did their first like 3 or 4 records there, and Nickelback is apparently the reason that it's succeeded. And they kind of said, as much as everyone shits on Nickelback, they personally put a lot of money into that studio because it was cheap at the time and was a great room and it was dying, and they apparently helped buy a lot of the gear and really do a lot of the sound like kind of treatment to it to really make it what it is. And like that's I don't like Nickelback, but as most of us in Alberta don't. But you know what? Good for them for putting the money in that. I appreciate it now. So thank you, Nickelback.
I just want to say, I don't care what anybody thinks. I would have beers with Chad Kroeger 100%. I don't care how stupid his hair is. It sounds like he's a good time,
Yeah.
And plus he's rich as fuck, so he'd probably tip well.
Yeah. No kidding.
Awesome. So this has been a reoccurring thing. It's why this show exists. So how fucked over by COVID did you guys get? Holy shit.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we got pretty fucked, but probably not as fucked as other people. But yeah, we were supposed to leave on our Canadian tour, which was I think 4.5 weeks. And 3 days before we were supposed to go, the pandemic pretty much blew up, and we canceled the tour. I managed to save my full-time job by begging them that I was gonna quit my job to go on this first leg of the tour, and I managed to save it, thankfully. But yeah, we lost our Canadian tour, and then we were still holding out. We were supposed to be in Europe for 4 weeks in June, playing a bunch of festivals and stuff, and we were kind of still holding out hope for that, and then that all fell through, and so we lost about 3 months of touring, almost all in that we rebooked all of the Canadian tour for August as well, because everyone was like, it's okay, it's only going to be a bit. So as soon as we canceled it, we rebooked it. We managed, everyone was super sympathetic and was accommodating to us. And then we kind of, we didn't have to tell anyone in August, we know this isn't happening. So yeah, we lost a lot of touring.
Unreal. Fuck. Damn it. And like this same thing happened, like you say, to a lot of people, but it seems like everybody was so pumped. Like 19 was building up nicely and 2020 was going to be the big pop off,
Yeah. 2020 just turned into a big fart.
Yeah. Fuck. Like even my buddy I do corporate gigs with and stuff. He bought all his gear and like, ugh.
Yeah, it just seems like every time there's like a little bit of like we're about to like kind of go around the bend, the hills just keep going, and you're just like, fuck, man, like, come on.
Yeah, now they're talking second wave and all that. Ugh. All right. Anyways, when we open up, so tell me about this van again. You guys have like a bus, right? I love buses.
Yeah, we have like an old handy bus. Yeah, like a used to be like a special needs bus, I think, back in the day, and we gutted it and put bunk beds and couches and stuff in it, it was great when there's 3 people to kind of always have that much room because we tow a trailer when we tour.
Sure.
But now with 4, it's even better. Like it's kind of like we always say, like, the bus, because everyone's got their own little space, but it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And it's just sitting there rusting. It's supposed to be on the road. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Mike's going to bring it down from Edmonton in about a week, and we're going to help my mom move some stuff out of the basement to the dump with the bus. So we're gonna grind that rust off a little bit. We're gonna go to the dump.
Just take her out for a spin.
Yeah, go cruise the garbage mill, see some black bears.
Yeah. Mom's like, oh, this is what a tour bus is like.
Yeah, exactly. Well, time to throw out a couch, Mom.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, tell everybody, unless there's anything else you want to bring up, tell everybody where they can find the new album, Violent Nature. I mean, I guess it's just turned a year old, didn't it, or something?
Yeah, we're just about at a year old. So last year we released an album, Violent Nature.
Yeah.
If it's still relevant to you, you can find it at woodhawkriffs.ca. Bandcamp, Spotify, we're all over the place. And Spotify might suck, but fractions of a penny are better than what we're getting right now. So I'll take it, and we appreciate all the support. I will say, through all the pandemic, we saw a gigantic spike in physical sales through Bandcamp and their website. People really jumped on board and did that. So thank you.
People are going to laugh. I thought you said woodhawkriffs.com. But
yeah, it's both .ca or .com.
Okay. Well, I changed
We own many domains.
Okay, we'll go to either one that I put up. And I just changed it while you were saying that.
Yeah, no, we every time like a new Woodhawk domain comes up, we just swipe it. There's this guy in like somewhere in Northern Ontario who actually owns woodhawk.com. And we keep waiting for like the day he's supposed to renew it to hopefully we can swipe in and get it.
Yeah, that's funny because you can look all that up, like when it expires and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's quick, and he doesn't even do anything with it. I think he actually just makes like wooden hawks that he carves out of trees, and he just posts pictures on it with like writes blogs. Go to woodhawk.com, look it up.
That's funny. You should start buying them off him.
Yeah, we should
do the bus up with them.
Oh my God. Like get it right on the front of the bus, like the old school like ram horns or whatever, just right in the front. This is a Woodhawk that we bought from woodhawk.com. New sponsor.
Awesome. Well, can you intro this last song here before we say goodbye?
Yeah, this is Old Silence. This is one of the tracks off Violent Nature. We recorded at Slaughterhouse with Nate and all the crew down there, and
yeah, cheers. Go. Thanks for coming on, man. Peace.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Nate.
Betrayed by you, even double cross the trust I put into all that was lost. You held my hand in the flame, I didn't feel a thing. You screamed in my face with spitting rage. Forgotten my tongue for too long. That abstract blood. When my temper starts to speak, that's what belly stings. The burden of my hands to try to help a friend. And you don't understand that this is not the end. My away. You disappeared when you sealed the page.
Yeah. Again, both those performances, one takes. Awesome. Thanks so much to Woodhawk. It was a great ass time. Thanks for experimenting with us and coming on the show. That's the first official live musical guest on Getting Late with Nate right there, folks. And I'm honored. Thank you. Now we're going to play a hilarious 14-second place boing. Oh, what's this one? Oh, this is the Jeb Bush one. Again, these all came out on the same day in November 2016. Check it out.
Please clap. Please clap. Please clap. Please clap.
Fuck. So dumb. So dumb. Next, we kind of a shift in genres, I guess. I interviewed my buddy John Abram this week. He is anyways, I get into how I know him and stuff. But Delirium Street Party Brass Band is his band, and they just put out. It goes out tomorrow, October 10th, 2020. It's called the Mental Health Doubleheader, and it's for World Mental Health Day, October 10, 2020. It'll be available everywhere. And they've said that all the proceeds from the sale of this will go to... from streaming platforms and purchases of the album to mental health awareness charities in Alberta and British Columbia. And I forgot to ask John because we had a bunch of technical errors. It was weird. But I didn't realize this many people were in the band. So there we go. John Edward Abram, producer, engineer, trombone. Sorry, I can't. Run Murius, drums. Rune, I'm probably saying that wrong. Sean DeVete, saxophone. Dana Kokian, probably saying that wrong. Saxophone, alto, flute. Kevin Waits, trumpet. John Towell, trombone. Javon Hills, tuba. Maria Cornell, flute, John Sproxton, saxophone, and Jace Lang, background vocals, as well as Colleen Middleton and Ian Vanderwee were vocalists. So I just want to give them all shout outs because that's the whole point of the show is to, give the musicians some credit. So check out my quick interview here. And then after this, I'm going to play, they sent me a little snippets that I can play. So check it out, my interview with John Abram. Okay, awesome. I'm here, everybody, today with my buddy John Abram. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Nate?
Good. I wanted to have you on. What do you play in the Delirium Street Party Brass?
I mostly play trombone. Sometimes I sing. Play sousaphone, which is the big wraparound tuba on occasion. Although on this album we're going to talk about, I actually had somebody else doing the tuba.
Nice, nice. I've always wanted to play tuba, being a bass player.
I know.
Cool. We know each other. You play in the Wednesday night big band that I mixed down at Dickens, too.
Yeah. I have a long history of playing jazz, actually. And I started, I was at a jazz festival when I saw a band called the Soul Rebels. And that was the original inspiration for the Delirium Street Party Brass because they were like a party band at a jazz festival and everybody was dancing. So that's when I thought, that was 2012, and I thought, okay, come on, I got to do something like this in Calgary. I know horn players, I know percussion people, I know drummers. I can try to pull this together. So we put together a horn rock party band. Took us a little while to get it going, but came together.
Very cool. So this release that you just put out, this is all part of Mental Illness Awareness Week. Is that true?
Yeah, the songs were actually chosen to be on a bigger album. And then I recorded the beds with the horn section, and then COVID hit, and I was aware of a few more people I know who have mental illness. And so we had these two songs that both relate to mental illness, and we really wanted to do something to support mental illness awareness and mental health. So we mixed them together, re-recorded a few parts, did the mastering, and got the album art together, and we're releasing them on Mental Health Awareness Day, World Mental Health Day, which is at the end of Mental Illness Awareness Week.
That's a lot to keep up for me.
I know, exactly.
It's very important, though. But yeah, cool. So, what is that date exactly?
October 10th is the release day.
October 10th, right on. So, where this is going to be out? Like I imagine, do you have a Bandcamp, or how are you distributing all this?
It's pre-order on Bandcamp. It should be on Apple Music and iTunes and Spotify on October 10th. Should be on like Deezer and all those streaming services. Some of the more obscure ones might take a few more weeks to show up, but
sure. And this is just like a 2-song thing.
Yeah, 2 songs. Yeah. Short but sweet.
Sure. And one's a cover, right?
Yeah. Actually, one is we were playing at Blind Beggar, and another band on the stage was Bleeds Green, which was a Green Day cover band, and Colin Middleton. He really liked us, and we hit it off, and we did a couple. So I added horns to a couple Green Day songs, and we thought, oh, this is great. So we decided to do a particular Delirium version of a Green Day song, and picked Basket Case, which is about Billy Joe, main singer of Green Day. What's his name? I don't know.
Billy Joe Armstrong, isn't it? If I remember.
Armstrong, that's it. Billy Joe Armstrong. He actually has, or had, probably still has panic disorder. But when he wrote the song, he didn't know that. So he just thought, what the hell is going on with my mind? Am I a basket case? What the heck is happening?
Sure.
So he wrote this rocking song that's just a wonderful party song about a serious mental illness.
Yeah.
So we covered it with a horn band without any. Well, I threw a guitar in on that one, but
yeah, that's a big no-no in your world, isn't it?
Well, I think I was trying to do something unique, different. Yeah, it was distorted. Yeah, and you can't really hear it after the intro. But to me, rock and roll, if there's a bass and a guitar and drums and vocals, it's easy now, right? Like everybody does that, right? And it's great, and we love it, and it comes across really well. But in a way, it's so cliche just to have bass, guitar, drums, and vocals that we want to do something completely different. So how can you be completely different? Well, ditch the guitar entirely and replace it with horns.
Yeah.
That was the original idea. We surfed with that for quite a while.
Cool. And then care to talk about the other tune?
Yeah. So when a friend of my son's, Ian Vander Wee, he was writing songs, and it turns out he had a serious suicidal episode Christmas a couple years ago, and just like out of this world dangerous. I don't think it was classified as an attempted suicide, just like all the thoughts that would normally go along with it, and then very intensely. So he wrote the song "What the Dark Is Bringing," about full of imagery about just like horses coming towards you with all these evil intentions, and so he wrote that, and it helped him cope with his disease. He's quite good now. He still has trouble sometimes when he's back in Calgary because that's where it happened, but he's in pretty good shape now. But he had to write the song about it, and so then I had to put it to the band and change it up a bit, add some trumpets, make it a little more intense, I think. So it's a little bit of a different vibe. It's a little bit more down tempo, a little more distorted, that sort of thing.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, I started playing music, when I was in my mid-teens, and all weird and brains all everywhere, and it really got me through a lot of stuff. So that's really awesome that you're able to put this together. And everybody, is there anything else you want to bring up except October 10th? Go buy music.
When you're putting out an album, when I'm putting out an album, the album art is always the last thing that comes together. So I've got that as my background here. And I reached out a lady named Clarissa Wright from Vancouver, who has her own or had her own mental issues that I never actually asked her what they were, but she's familiar with. So it's just like your thoughts aren't always under your control, right? Like your head isn't always your own head, right? And if anything's if things are going a little weird, sometimes you can't trust your own mind.
Sure.
And that's what the album art's supposed to show.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I've seen that a lot lately since the pandemic. It's easy for outside forces to push people's mental health, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, thanks for taking the time out. I know we had some hilarious technical problems trying to get this bird off the ground.
Exactly.
We pulled it off, and thanks a lot. And everybody, go check out Delirium Street Party Brass on October 10th, wherever you can find music, and enjoy that.
Yeah, Bandcamp is the best nowadays, right? Everybody loves Bandcamp now. But if you're a Spotify person, it should be on Spotify. If you're an Apple person, it should be on Apple Music.
Yeah, very cool. All right. Well, thanks for your time, John. Good seeing you.
See you, Nate. See you around. Peace. See you in real life soon again, hopefully.
Yeah. I bet you we will. Thanks.
Yeah. See you.
Yeah, that was a good interview. Good time. So I wanted to play. They allowed me to play some snippets here. So check this out. Like they did this Green Day cover.
Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just stoned?
Yeah, nice. So go support that good cause. Go. I know everybody's supporting everything right now. It's tough, but yeah, go check it out at least. Cool. So we're gonna play another place boing here. It's only like I don't know how long is it? 17 seconds. Was it the third one? Was it?
Yeah, 17.
17 seconds. We'll be right back.
I am a real person.
Good times. That was spooky, which is good because this is about to get spooky again. This is the second in a series of just turn the chat off. That's a bad idea. Restream does that every time. Yeah, thank you. All throughout the month of October, I've been having my friend Robyn Condon on because she's this wacky person that goes to all these haunted places, and she's my expert friend on this, so prepared to be scared. At the end of it, I end up scared at everyone, and I'm like, okay, I gotta let you go, and I just like kind of, they end abruptly. So this is I was like, oh, I'll make it like 15, 20. She really knows about this stuff, and it was pretty interesting. We ended up going about 30, 35. So we'll see you after. Cheers. Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
Hello.
And welcome back to my friend Robyn. How you doing today?
I'm pretty good. Just
Cool.
chilling at home, living the COVID dream.
Yeah. Well, let's keep it spooky here.
Yeah.
For people that didn't see last week, you are a paranormal enthusiast.
Yeah, it's like the best way I can say it without seeming cocky. Really weirdly, this week we went to a New Earth Expo. And when you go to these things and you have sensitivities, people come up to you. And this guy's been harassing me ever since to join his channeling class for only $425. It's like half my rent. And he's like, is there someone you could ask for this money? I'm like, yeah, my parents, but I'm not going to. You know, like, and he just keeps sending, like, he literally found me with my alias.
Oh.
Right? Like, it's not even my name on there.
Sure.
Like, I wasn't like, hey, I'm Lori Myers at the fair, you know? So ooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last time we were talking about you go on these like kind of pilgrimages every year, and I don't know if we made it to the end to Virginia City. I don't think we did.
We didn't make it to the end, and Virginia City's not the end. It's just the beginning.
Oh, right.
I'm just joking. But I think
I got scared. That's what happened. We were getting there, and I started getting scared, and I was like, let's continue this another time.
Yeah. So I can have nightmares. Did you have nightmares?
No.
Nothing? Do you remember your dreams?
Yeah. Well, not all of them, but
The ones that count, right?
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I wonder. I'd like to see the ones I don't remember.
You should always write them down.
Interesting.
Always. Because it like comes up later. And you can like verify. Yeah.
Sure.
But I think we were in Pioche last time, which was the little town kind of like right by Beaver, Utah. You just got to like go over the Nevada border. And then it's a town that was basically the first 57 people that were killed there were murdered. Or like, you know, there's nothing natural about their deaths anyways. And the place I stayed was a place that was said to be one of the scariest places that Ghost Adventures ever stayed. So, of course, I want to stay there by myself. And I rented the room, and I stayed there for 2 nights. I've stayed there before, but this time I did it by myself for 2 nights. And I saw the cowboy, and he was just a shadow of a cowboy, and he was lanky in the hallway. Did I tell you the story?
We did, yeah, and the cold finger.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
where do we go from here?
Okay.
Where do we go from here?
Where do well?
Because you're an editor.
I think it was you went on the trip. Where did you go after that?
Fuck, I don't know where I went in my head. I just talk and ramble. So basically from there, I drove to Goldfield. Did we get to Goldfield?
Not sure. Don't think so. Again, we had beers on board. Jeez.
I know. So sorry. The trip
No,
is
no,
long
it's me too.
9,000 miles. So I went to Goldfield after that, and I stopped by a place which is like this little saloon, and it's called the Hoist House, and it's on the corner of the US 95 and like kitty corner to the haunted hotel that I always stay in. And this hotel is like the pinnacle of all existence. Like every ghosted person wants to get in here, but only a few select used to be able to be let in. Like back in the day when I went in, there was just like there was like, you know, the tunnel was open and there were like dead birds everywhere. And like bird shit like this thick on the steps, like boom. And there were these owls that watched us, but it was the creepiest thing because like I've been trying to get in there for like a million years, and the first time I was let in there was by Virginia Ridgway, who was the one who let Zach Baggins in the building, and she used to be the caretaker of the building back when it was still, you know, being utilized or whatever. She said the last person was 1945 or something with the Second World War. But I was outside taking photos, and then I was distracted by these 2 pigeons with different colored eyes because I had smoked a joint. And then I heard a lady behind me yell, you know, like, hello. And when I turned around, I knew exactly who she was. And then I went over to the car, and she said, do you want me to let you in the building? And I was like, I've been going there for 3 years and never got to go in. But I totally accepted. I was so elated. I was like gushing. And then the next day between 9:30 and 11:30, I got to go into the building in the morning. And I tried to bring other people from town with me because they're not even allowed in the building. And they've lived there for like 10 years. And she said, no, just the girl. No, she drove up to like the building in the back of the car with a nurse in the front. And she had 2 broken hips. And she said the day that she met me was the first day she didn't have to take pain meds in like 2 months, which was weird. It was just a really weird event.
Yeah, it's freaky.
And then we're at the front of the door, and the lady at the door was like, we're trying to fidget with the lock. And she looked at me and she called me God of the hotel. She said, you're God of this hotel. And I was just shaking. Because, like, I know how rare it used to be, to get into there when it was, like, a condemned place. Now they're trying to reopen it. And a lot of people have been, like, kind of not nice to the person who actually owns the building and trying to, like, take over. And I hope the person that does take over does a good job. But the building itself is supposed to be one of the 9 portals to the other world. And that's supposed to be located in the basement.
Huh.
And whenever you go in the basement, it's like last time when I stayed by myself, because that's what I did. I stayed the night by myself. I did not turn off the lights in the basement. I will admit. I was so scared. I was scared the whole time. But all the lights were off on the upper levels, and then the main level just had the street lights kind of coming in and some spotlights. But I was the only person in that building, and in my audio, all you can hear is talking. It's nonstop. It's people to each other about me.
Weird.
Yeah, and names come up that are associated with the building, right? Like one of the names that came up was Calvin, so I looked up Calvin, and I took a picture at that moment and caught an apparition of a man with half his face kind of missing. And you can see distinctly he's got like the Chevy Chase chin, you know, he's about 30-something. And I found out that the only Calvin buried in the cemetery was an old bartender that was shot in the abdomen and in the face in the 1930s, and his name was Calvin Cooper. And so when I go back there, I always talk to him and stuff, and he always comes up. Like every time I've been back, the name Calvin comes up. And then Elizabeth's another name, because there's the whole thing about the lady who died in room 109. And I went there with my friend Kim. And it seems like when you go there with people who actually have some kind of attachment to it, whether it be from this life or another, her uncle used to own it. So we went together and we stayed there by ourselves. And at that time, they were like, you can only stay till 3 a.m. And the owner slept in the lobby. Like, so it was kind of ghetto and shitty. And they also covered up the tunnel at this point, which really took away from the activity. I think that was the centrifuge. I think underground tunnels have a lot to do with hauntings, more than we can think. But when I got down there for the first time, the voices I caught were like, we know each other, you know me, we're friends. Like, nothing evil, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, Zach Baggins went down in that basement, and he got a brick thrown at his face, and he ran out there crying and jumped off his second-story thing, because, you know, you don't screw with that.
Wow.
You know, they left screaming. That's how they got their show. That place is kind of what built their show.
Interesting. So he is the ghost hunters guy?
He's the Ghost Adventures guy, yeah.
Ghost
that has
Adventures,
a museum in Vegas. He's like the most famous paranormal investigator that you could think of at this point in time, because Lorraine Warren's dead now. So,
well, that's freaky. So a brick just came hurling out of nowhere.
At him, yeah, in the basement. And I went to the exact same spot. And I do have to say, the area by the elevator, there's something about that area. I think I've got pictures where it looks like there's creatures in the background, a few of them, and they have like little antennas and large eyes. Wow. Of course, you're like close by Area 51 and all that nuclear testing facility, so it's not far-fetched to think that there's something to that. But the thing is it could be interdimensional creatures as well. I've heard dogs growling in the basement multiple times. I've seen dogs in the building. I've captured one on the outside of the window of a man in a top hat, and next to him he has what looks like a husky dog. And so the next time I went, I asked what the dog's name was, and I said, is that the dog's name? And this man said, no, it's Snowflake. And I was like, cool name for your demon dog.
Yeah, I was thinking, because that's kind of like Southwest U.S.-ish.
Yeah.
What you were describing kind of reminds me of some of the pictographs or pictograms, like the cave art and stuff.
The weird hieroglyphs.
Yeah.
Hieroglyphs, yeah.
Yeah, from the native cultures down there, right? They've probably seen this shit
exactly.
for thousands of years.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I was watching like Skinwalker Ranch the other day. I was like super excited to watch that, because once I started talking to that guy about aliens being demons, I was like, whoa, you know?
Sure.
So I started to look it up and stuff, and like that Skinwalker Ranch place is pretty crazy. It's a very carbon-based area. I think the thing about it is like, if you want to ask spirits metaphysical questions, you can. If they trust you, they'll answer you. And one of the things that I've been told is the thing that they lack is carbon. So you would think that if it's a place that's highly fueled with that would be a very active place.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
But they have element 115. I was just watching that Ancient Aliens.
What's element 115?
That's what Bob Lazar claims, that's the fuel for their motors, for the anti-gravity engines.
Sounds like that gas station's going to get bought out pretty soon.
Well, it doesn't occur naturally here. They invented it after, because it's the 115th on the periodic table.
Yeah.
And they kind of synthesized it after Bob Lazar. But
crazy.
He claims that where these aliens come from, it's like plentiful on their planet, and it's like it's cut into little cones, and the little cones, I don't know, is what makes the anti-gravity machine work.
Well, yeah, like supposedly you can move things with your mind. Like Tesla was doing that all the time, right? Wasn't he like ostracized for all that stuff?
What, he was moving stuff with his mind?
I thought so. Wasn't he moving? There was one guy who built a bridge with his mind. He was moving. And then there's the coral castle guy who like somehow built the castle out of coral. And like the coral was impossible to even pick up with a machine. But he somehow picked it up with his mind, and it's somewhere. This coral castle. And it's this way of moving matter where your mind goes past the fact that it is heavy or something. I don't know. You can like wrap your head around it.
To me, that's the only way they could have made the pyramids or any of those megalithic structures.
Could you imagine being there for like the floating of the rocks? Oh.
Yeah, I know. Well, I always assumed too that the pyramids. I was talking on another show with a guy about this, that the pyramids were like giant Tesla coils, so they had access to an insane amount of power.
Yeah.
So if you had your mind and then this insane amount of power that you could direct stuff, like holy shit,
It was like a portal, right?
Yeah, interesting.
Like some of the most like probably prolific portals in history are probably in like hospitals and hospital beds, especially now. People die in those beds, like boom, 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 boom. It's not like you get a new bed.
Oh, freaky.
So you got to think in that spot, how many people have passed in that spot? That's a big open portal.
Woof.
Yeah, I don't like hospitals. As a sensitive, they make me sick.
When I was 18, my friend had a cabin. This is a freaky thing that happened to me.
Yeah.
Way up north in Quebec. I mean, it was like the highway ended in Trois-Rivières, and then you went up a curly, mountainside highway, 2-laner for like 2 hours. And then you were on a gravel road out to the middle of nowhere. And this is right after we had graduated. We were all 18. And he invited, his sister invited 6 or 7 of her friends, and then he invited us. So there was 15 of us, and they're like, oh, check this out. And we get on their boat and take a 5-minute boat ride. And there was this abandoned hospital there. I'm telling you, it was
amazing,
fucking huge. It was
where was this?
Northern Quebec, 2 hours north of Le Tuc, Quebec.
Wow.
And so it had been shut down. We pull up to this broken down wharf type thing, and there was it was a little mini skidoo town up there or something. It must have been Cold War or something. There was a bunker in there. We went in this bunker, and I picked up a pole, and my buddy grabbed a rope, and then we went to this hospital. It was 4 stories above ground and 2 under.
Yeah, that's always weirdest when they have sub basements.
And we went in there, and people had been doing it. It was graffitied everywhere. It had been shut down for a long time. And people had been in there smashing stuff, and we just started smashing shit. It was so fucking awesome. But it was it's the reason I don't have to go to normal psychiatry appointments every week now, because I just got out all my aggression.
But the thing is that aggression went somewhere.
Well, for sure, and it was fucking creepy, and we were trying to freak the girls out, right? We would scatter and try and freak them out, but there was some wacky shit. There was a weird chair in the basement, and that was, you could definitely feel shit in there, and
what was it was it like a dentist chair or something?
It looked it was you could lay back on it, and ugh.
So in Penhurst, which I forget where it is, but Penhurst is a really haunted place that Geraldo actually got shut down or something, and it was there was not enough staff, there was too many people, and they had this rule, if you bit someone once, okay, don't do it. You bite someone twice, they take your teeth. And they had a chair like that.
Oh.
So there were all these toothless people everywhere.
What?
People who couldn't walk because they couldn't get out of their cribs because there was only so many people per people.
Right. Interesting. So, do we go to Virginia City now?
Oh yeah, we can go.
Sure.
There's so many stories about Goldfield. I truly think that everyone should see it. There's so much there. You can go rock hounding. You can go to the hot springs for free. The town folk are the best. They have this sign that says world's meanest bartender. So check that bitch out. Also, there's a cemetery with cars that stick straight up, and the Joshua trees and the sunset and the donkeys. And it's so cool.
Wow.
It's cool. Beautiful. And then I go up to Tonopah. Tonopah is where that infamous clown museum is, or clown hotel.
Okay.
You know that one? Have you seen it?
I haven't.
Basically, the 2 double wides. It's like nothing. And this guy bought it for $1 million because of its notoriety, right?
Okay.
And the hotel itself, I've been there. I haven't stayed a night in the hotel, but I've got my feelings. It's right beside a graveyard filled with kids that died of sicknesses and old miners that were buried alive. So, of course, the hotel is going to have ghosts. They're just going to wander over from the cemetery, in my opinion. But the hotel that's actually up the street, which is called the Mizpah, was voted the best haunted attraction to go see, like hotel-wise. And I'll tell you what, it's like the best sleep of my life. In room 502, there's this lady in red. So the first time I went there was with Marco Flaherty, and we from Chicks Dig It, and we stayed there. And we had taps turn on by themselves. We had weird sulfur smells. Mark, I took a picture that got deleted, unfortunately. And when Mark saw it and the bartender saw it, they said it was the best picture they ever saw. It was of a woman on the chair next to Mark. And red was emanating from her throat. So we were like, where was her throat slit? And they were like, yeah. Weirdly, the bartender's name was Robyn, too. But if you look up Mizpah Hotel, and then you look up Omar Gosh TV, which is another YouTube channel I've been on before, the guy has a video in the Mizpah, and it is unreal. It's in the basement. I never got to go in the basement because it's off limits unless you're staff. But he got to go in there, and a woman walks clean across, and you can see, and she like looks at them before she like takes off. And it was just them down there, and she's totally in the garb of the time. And Wyatt Earp used to have a room there, and then there's the story of the politician that they put on ice because he died the day of the election.
Oh.
So they put him on ice. His name, oh man, I forget. But he's in that place too. Each room has a plaque, a historical plaque, and then the room is like based on that plaque, based on their history, which is really cool. And Tonopah is literally, that area is the best place to see the stars in all of the United States.
Wow.
Is the darkest place in the United States, and lots of observatories on the hill. But to go out there and just be in that area is really, really a neat feeling. You're in the center also of a dormant volcano, so it looks like you're on the moon.
Wild.
Yeah. And you can just find turquoise on the side of the road and like opals and stuff. It's the weirdest place. I saw lightning hit the ground there once.
And what state is Tonopah in again? Sorry?
This is all Nevada.
All in Nevada. Okay.
We're going to be in Nevada this whole talk.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, oh, no, that's not true. I lied to you. Now we got to go to the Queen Mary.
Sure.
Have you ever been?
No.
I would say if you're going to go to the Queen Mary, make sure you're going there for like an event that you really want to go to. Make sure that you bring your own liquor.
What is it? That's a ship, right?
It's the most haunted ship in the world, supposedly.
And where is it?
It is in Long Beach, California.
Oh, okay. Wild.
Yeah. So I went down there and I met this guy who's part of a paranormal team from LA, Dave. And I was like, do you want to come with me to the ship? Because I don't want to drive in LA.
Yeah, no shit.
You know? So he actually took me to like Pasadena Suicide Bridge. And he took me to the Rialto Theater in Pasadena too. I couldn't even stand on the Pasadena Suicide Bridge. It made me sick. But we went to the Queen Mary and we had the tour. And the tour guy just did not want to be there. He was like, I hate Ben Affleck. I'm a better actor. Fuck that guy. And that's what I got from the tour. Because, you know, Pearl Harbor was filmed there, right? So.
Oh, okay.
And you know that really awesome episode of X-Files?
Which?
Where they're stuck in that time warp. It's supposed to be the Queen Anne.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So I was in that room and I was like, isn't this the X-Files room? And he's like, I don't know the answer to that question. I'm like, give me your job. I want your job. Give it to me, you know? And then we went down to the there was a huge propeller in this one room and I got really woozy there. Funny part is you can take pictures of the propeller, right?
Okay.
But everybody, like, there's like 4 drunk people's cell phones down there. So that was kind of funny. You know, you can like see where they were taking pictures and like, oh, my phone, $1,000, you know. But the propeller actually, it collided with another ship. I forget the name of it. And when the ships collided, the propeller chopped up a whole bunch of people.
Whoa.
Yeah, like lots, like double digits, lots.
Shit. So you were sensing something off of that?
I got sick in there, like just nauseous and just felt ill. That was about it.
Sure.
I felt the death of the guy who got squished in the door. That was weird. He got squished in door 13, I think it was. And it's just like, you know, one of those doors that just air touch shite. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mixed that up, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we didn't get to go to the pool, which was the biggest letdown of my life. I was so mad. I want to meet Jackie. There's like this little girl spirit, and her name is Jackie. And this guy, Peter James, who was like this psychic, talked to Jackie all the time. There's all these videos about it, and there's like a portal supposedly in the bath changing rooms. And then they were like, no, well, there's a prom going on, and we don't want the kids in there. I'm like, fuck. No.
There's a prom going on? That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. And then I rented the most, because they started to rent out the most haunted room. That's what they call it, right? How could it be the most haunted? Who knows? But I wanted to do it. So now I can say I slept in the most haunted room on the most haunted ship in the world. Done it. But we stayed there the day after, you know that guy from Fast and the Furious, Chad Lindbergh?
Okay.
He's like a skinny little weirdo.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, he stayed there the night before, and they had this chest that they left in there with like a Ouija board and like some stupid tarot cards. And I just brought it to the front desk, and I was like, I don't want this shit in my room. I paid $1,000 Canadian for this. Take it.
Holy, wow.
Yeah.
They charge, eh? Wow.
It was $6.40 American.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Unreal.
But I wanted to do it. So I always
For sure.
pick one place that's expensive and I do it.
Sure.
And so that was my one place. And actually, Dave gave me about $1,000 worth of gear afterwards for letting him tag along for free. So thanks, Dave. Yeah.
Nice.
It all worked out. But we had some pretty cool experiences. There was this one area where we were on the tour and everyone was sitting in a semicircle. And I looked behind this woman and there were these 4 portholes. And I saw from like the shoulder down kind of float by this arm. And then when I saw it, right, this lady started to touch her arm, right, after I told my friend Dave. And so I went up to her at the end and I was like, you seem really like weird over there. And she's like, my arm really started to hurt. I was like, that's so nuts.
That is
Then
freaky.
I saw, sorry if I cut you off.
No.
I'm so excited. I saw also there's a staircase that's supposedly like haunted, right? And someone fell down or something. And it's at the front of the ship, and it was right in front of the room we were in, B340. So I sat there in my pajamas, like cross-legged on the bottom. I started to take pictures. And when I stopped taking pictures, I looked up, and I saw from the shoulders all the way down to about the hips, no arms, and in a suit, just like glide across like that. And I was like, oh, like my, like everything kind of stops. And then this woman opened one of the doors that just like pushed open, and I almost shit myself. That was cool.
Freak.
But like in our room, the coolest part about our room was it was a room everyone would wanted to see. So we got to have like, what we did was we left it open so everyone could come and enjoy the room with us.
Interesting.
People were taking our pictures. We met like these essays that never took off their shades, and they were like, yeah, like, they're the best people. It was so fun. And then we investigated for a couple of hours, and then we went to bed. And I set up my REM pod. Like, I don't know, have you seen one of those?
I can't say I have. No.
So it's like an EMF kind of detector with the lights, but it's got like 4 colors, and then it's got like a thermon in the middle.
Okay.
So you can touch it, woo, woo, woo,
Right.
So I put it in the bathroom where they say a lot of stuff happens, and I went to bed, and at 3 a.m., I started to feel like I was choking, like I couldn't breathe, and I sat up to get a drink of water, and I took my drink of water, and right as I was about to put my head back down on the pillow, the thing went off, like full blast. And I started yelling, Dave, 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 like, it's doing something, Dave, and it stopped. And that was it. That was the only experience we had that night of any kind of, well, for me, substantial, Everything else happened on the ship. So if I was somebody who was going to go stay there, I would just rent a normal room, run of the mill, spend your money on the experience, and check out the whole ship,
Yeah, that's definitely a once in a lifetime experience. Holy shit.
That was pretty fun. And then from LA, I drove back up through Death Valley, and it was like not even hot. It was like rainy. And Death Valley in the rain is like the nicest thing I've ever been through. It was so beautiful. And I got to Baker, and I had to drive back to Goldfield, but it's all flood zone through Armagosa. But I hate going through Vegas because I hate traffic. So I see the storm cloud and I know it's a flood zone and I'm weighing all my options. And I just started like driving through the thing. And this is that road that I think I told you about before. The one where all the people dump the bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
That washes out.
Right.
Yeah, so I ended up getting back to Goldfield and hung out a couple more nights and then drove up to Virginia City, which is where I lived.
Oh. You moved there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Cool.
I sold everything I had except for like, my collections of things, but all my furniture and shit. And I pieced out and I was a volunteer tour guide at the Old Washoe Club, which is one of the most haunted buildings in probably the United States. It's a millionaires club that Mark Twain, Ulysses S. Grant, Thomas Edison, James Fair, John McKay.
Yeah, we talked about that a bit last time, but yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So how long did you do that for, volunteering out there at the Washoe Club?
It was like from April until like the end of August.
Did you ever freak anybody out on the tour?
I had people pass out on my tour. I had people burst into my tears on tour. I had people tell me that I was Satan on my tours.
So anything else freaky in Virginia City there?
Oh man, the whole town.
Yeah, the whole town.
So the Silver Queen is probably the scariest place. It's the scariest night I ever had was there. The church there, I believe, is, and I know people who watch this from Virginia City will hate me, but I truly do believe it has something to do with the religions of Aleister Crowley and the Tree of Life more so than Christianity. And the Room 13 at the Silver Queen and the Union Brewery. The Union Brewery is scary. I don't run out of many buildings, and I was in there for like 10 minutes, and I ran out shaking.
Fuck, wild.
Yeah, and it was the daytime. It was like 4, right before work, and I went in, and this was the thing I told on Ghost Adventures. They don't know it's me, but this is my story anyways. I'll tell it to you. I went in, and I walked to the back with my friend who had come from Utah to investigate the Washoe. He and his friends sat down at the table. I just stood there. I kind of got I kind of got directed like towards this area. And when I looked over, there was a small short table, and on top of the table was a woman, and 2 men were ripping her clothes off, and she was screaming, and they were pulling their dicks out. And it was weird because it was like, the way I see it is I see it like a book. So like if you were to take a book and go through the pages, right? And you were to draw a stick man on every second page, right?
Right.
The stick man is reality.
Yeah.
Sure. Every second page with nothing on it is the thing from the past I'm seeing.
Right.
So it's like shattering. And then I'm like standing there looking at that. I'm looking at my friend, and I'm like looking back at it. And then this man, he came up behind me, and I could see what he looked like in my head. He had like a duster kind of jacket and a long hat and white beard kind of thing. And he just went behind my head like this, and he was like, rah, 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 rah. And then I just kind of lost it at that point.
Holy fuck.
And I ran out of the building, and I pushed my friend Pat out of the way. And then I went to work, and I was shaking. They were like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, I went to the union. I'm never going back there. Like, I'm done. I don't know if I can work today. I'm really shook up. And they were like, "Are you on drugs?" I'm like, "No." And so I took the first tour up. And when I got up to the first floor, that's when everything just kind of went away. And then when I came back downstairs, I had welts on my legs. Like someone had grabbed my legs and pinched and twisted them.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Freaky, man.
Well, that building, my friends, so the owner and the head managerial like bartender who helped build the place, both of their husbands died from heart attacks in that building. Like the guy wasn't, the second one didn't die in the building, but it's all associated. And then the guy who was building the bar in the building, right? I was hanging out with him, and a week later, after I told him I wouldn't go back in that bar with him, he had a near fatal motorcycle accident by Reno, and he had to learn how to walk again and stuff. And then just this last month, or a couple months ago, though, in August, they had a Paracon. And a month after that, the guy who did the Paracon, this was the first time that they brought the union building to Paracon. A month after that, he was dead from a heart attack. So
Wacky.
yeah.
That genuinely freaked me out.
It doesn't. It scares me. Like, I didn't want to be in the building.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be like, Dawn, please let me live upstairs, because she has this awesome apartment upstairs with the best view in the world, right? 6 Mile Canyon, like, and it's totally redone. But she's like, yeah, sometimes when I go to sleep, you know, the spirit of a cowboy comes through the roof and the bed shakes. And I'm like, oh God. Like, yeah, every night. Like, the Silver Queen was enough. Like, I had stuff happen in that building. I lived in there for a month. And it was weird. Super weird. I heard men in my room almost every night, tapping on the walls. I have, like, fingerprints on my mirrors. I make sure that the housekeeper wouldn't touch the mirrors. I told her never to clean the mirrors, and I wouldn't touch them either. And I only used the one over the sink, and they had this huge gold mirror. And by the end of my stay, I had like 26 handprints on it. Wow. And it's in front of a dresser. So like no one's like leaning up against it while they're in your room, you know? I had visions of things coming through the transoms. And then the scariest night I had was I was reading this book called The Roar and the Silence. And in The Roar and the Silence is actually a picture of a guy that works at the Washoe. So I kind of thought maybe it was him. But I was reading my book, and right beside me in the chair was this man, and he was just like, Robyn. And I just like put down my book, and I was like, looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, that's not real. Like, what was that? I was like, your friend is drunk outside the door. So, you know, I'm like trying to listen for someone outside the door. And then all of a sudden I hear a man and a woman below me. And the man's like, you filthy whore, like in this weird accent. And I'm like, holy shit. And I locked the door because they're fighting, right? Mm-hmm. And the next day I went to the front desk, and there was only one other person staying at the opposite end of the building. Nobody else was in the building.
All right. You freaked me out. Let's do it again next week.
Yeah, I've got lots of stories. But you have to like kind of help me remember, because I'll tell you about the carbon monoxide story.
I'll write it down. What was the name of that place you lived at for? The Silver
Queen.
Silver Queen. So that's where we were at.
Yeah.
And we'll pick it up there.
Yes, reminders. I'm glad I get to scare you every week.
The last ones get me. It's like, gosh.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, pleasure to chat always. Look forward to next week.
Peace. Freaky. We gotta start doing drinking games. If you would have taken a shot every time I said freaky there, you would have been wasted. I hope you guys enjoyed that. My wife obviously did. That's good. The spooky October talk. It's good times. Thanks to Robyn. Yeah, we're gonna try and do them. We're gonna do them all throughout October here. So thanks to everybody that's still sticking around and watching. Real quick, thanks to New Level Brewing. We're gonna play a 21-second place bowling right now.
Why aren't I 50 points ahead? The Russians, Putin, Russia. Why aren't I 50 points ahead? The Kremlin, Putin, and the Russian government. Why aren't I 50 points ahead? Russian, Putin, the Russians, Russia, the Kremlin, the Russians, Putin, Russia.
Ridiculous. Crazy. I want to thank all my guests. I want to thank Woodhawk. I want to thank Chase. Chase is killing it. He hasn't fucked up once tonight, eh? And he never fucks up. I was the one always fucking up. Thanks, Chase. Thanks, Woodhawk. Thanks, John Abram. Thanks to Robyn Condon. And thanks to all of you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Just tell your friends. I don't know. I'm just trying to pound out content every week here, and it's it's working out. I think it's coming together, folks? Don't you think? So we're going to play some credits and then a few commercials at the end. And thanks a lot. Peace.
And thank you for trying to bring back that spirit. It's going to take lots of people pulling together to do it.
This is going to be awesome. Why does it taste like that?
We've never seen anything like that. You mean a drag king?
Whatever disease you get from putting your ass to toilet seat, that guy's out there.
Your roof is an important part of keeping you and your family safe. No Pain Roofing guarantees no pains when it comes to repairing, replacing, and installing your roofing materials. We make exterior renovations painless. Visit nopainroofing.ca for more information.